John longed for a wife. He wanted a partner who shared his faith. He dreamed of a woman who would love God with all her heart. Every night, John prayed for this special woman. He poured his heart out to God. John knew God heard his prayers. He trusted in God's perfect timing. John had faced challenges in his life. He'd struggled with addiction. But John had found strength in God. He had turned his life around. Now John wanted to share his life with a woman of faith. He believed God had someone special in mind for him. He held on to that hope with all his might. John had dated before. He had tried to find love. But each relationship ended in disappointment. The women he met didn't share his passion for God. They didn't understand his desire to serve. John felt alone. He questioned if he was meant to be single. But John never lost faith. He knew God had a plan for him. He continued to pray for his future wife. John asked God to give him strength. He asked for patience, to wait for God's timing. John believed God would answer his prayer. One Sunday morning, John went to church. He sat in his usual spot. As he looked around, he saw a new face. A woman sat a few rows ahead. She had a kind smile and a peaceful aura. John couldn't explain it, but he felt drawn to her. During the service, the pastor asked newcomers to stand. The woman stood up. She introduced herself as Jane. Then she said something that shocked John. She said, "God told me my husband is in this church." She looked directly at John. A wave of chills ran down John's spine. Could this be the answer to his prayers? John couldn't deny the feeling that God was at work. Still, he was skeptical. He needed confirmation. That night, John had a dream. He saw Jane, radiant and smiling. He heard a voice say, "She is the one I have chosen for you." John woke up with a start. His heart pounded in his chest. God had spoken. John knew what he had to do. He sought God in prayer. He asked for forgiveness for his doubts. He thanked God for answering his prayers in such an extraordinary way. John approached Jane that week, his heart filled with hope and gratitude. Their connection was undeniable. They were soon married in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by loved ones.